Okay, so another one of the questions in the mental maths that caused a little bit of confusion for people was this one here about 1.25 metres is equal to how many millimetres? And what you need to remember in order to work this out is the rule about how many millimetres are equal to 1 metre. So if you think of 1 whole metre, how many millimetres does it have in it? Have we think? It's 1,000 millimetres in every metre. That's what milli means. It means 1,000th of a metre. So this is something that we just need to know, we need to remember. It's one of those rules that we just have to learn. 1 metre is equal to 1,000 millimetres. So once you know that, you can then work out some easier examples. For example, 2 metres. How many millimetres will be in 2 metres? So think you've got one of these and then you've got another one of these. And so 2 metres is equal to 2,000 millimetres. Also, you could work out how many were in 4 metres. 4 metres is equal to how many millimetres? Work it out. It's 4,000 millimetres. You could do all sorts of different examples. Try these ones yourself if you've got your whiteboard there. If not, pause the video and go and get your whiteboard and pencil and paper and write down a couple of examples just to test yourself on it. How many are each of these worth? You can pause the video here till you work it out and then I'll give you the answers. So 12 metres is 12,000 millimetres. 8 metres is 8,000 millimetres. And 16 metres is 16,000 millimetres. So for some of you that will be quite straightforward. You can see that what we're doing is we're taking the number of metres and we multiply it by 1,000 in order to find the answer. I wonder if you remember how to multiply by 1,000 in a quick and easy way. Remember when we multiply by 10, we move all the digits one place to the left. To multiply by 100, you move all the digits 2 places to the left. So what do you think we're going to have to do to the digits in order to multiply by 1,000? To multiply by 1,000, we move all the digits 3 places to the left. So for example, let's have a look down here at my place value chart. Here's my decimal point. If I have 2 in the ones or the units column, if I want to multiply it by 1,000 and move the digits 3 places, so it jumps 1, 2, 3 places, it moves to here, and the other columns are filled in with a 0. If I wanted to keep the decimal point then I could, but there's no need here because the number 2,000 is a number that we recognise well. 2 multiplied by 1,000 is 2,000. So you might want to try a few examples. In fact, I'll keep this here to remind you. A few examples of how to multiply by 1,000. Try these numbers here, multiplied by 1,000, and see how you get on with it. Okay, so you can pause the video here while you work the answers out, write them down, and then restart the video again to see your answers. 14 times 1,000 is 14,000. 6 times 1,000 is 6,000. 30 times 1,000 is 30,000. 12 times 1,000 is 12,000. So that's quite straightforward. It then becomes a little bit more tricky for some people when you start using decimals, but the thing we need to remember is the easy rules that work in maths for simple straightforward figures also work. The same rules apply when we use more difficult numbers. So if, for example, you have a decimal like this one, 0.5, and we want to multiply it by 1,000, we can use our place value table at the bottom here to help. 0.5 goes here, 0.5. What I want to do is move the 5 3 places to the left. So it jumps 1, 2, 3 places. It jumps into the 100 space, and then I can put a 0 until I get to the decimal point. So 0.5 times 1,000 is 500. We can write the 500 like that, or we can write it like this. It won't matter. But you can see that the 5/10 has jumped 1, 2, 3 places to the left. Here are some more examples for you to try of decimals multiplied by 1,000. So try these on your whiteboard or your piece of paper. If you need to, you can pause the video to give you a chance to get it done, and then here are your answers. 0.5 times 1,000 is 500, as we found out down here. 0.8 times 1,000 is 800. 0.6 is 600. 1.2 is equal to 1,200. And 2.4 times 1,000 is equal to 2,400. Now this is quite a lot of new learning in this video, so if you feel like that's enough for you, or you feel like you need to go away and practice some of that, that's absolutely fine. Remember, you can always come back to the video after you've had a chance to practice to move on to the next bit. We can just learn it a bit at a time, and it's always useful to come back and revisit it. So our new rule that we're very sure of now is how to multiply by 1,000 by moving all of our digits 3 places to the left. Let's go back to the question then that was in the mental maths. 1.25 metres. How many millimetres is it? We know that we have to multiply by 1,000. So the question we're asking is, what is 1.25 times 1,000? And we can use our place value chart, 1.25. And we move all the digits 3 places to the left. So the 1 jumps 1, 2, 3 up to here. The 2 jumps 1, 2, 3 up to here. The 5 jumps up to here. And we can't leave this column blank because here's our decimal point. So we need to put the 0 in here. 1,250. We can also put, you can put as many zeros as you like after the decimal point. It's not going to make any difference. So 1.25 metres is equal to 1,250 millimetres. And if we think about that from the question, it really makes sense, because number 1 here is saying 1 whole metre. This is saying there's 1 whole metre and then a little bit of a metre after the decimal point. The 1 whole metre is 1,000 millimetres, and then the little bit extra that's after the decimal point, that's the 250 millimetres that's added to it. So, like I said, lots and lots of new learning in there. You can try some other examples yourself at home. I could write a few up here for you actually. Look at this, 2.4 metres. How many millimetres? 1.8 metres. How many millimetres? And 3.2 metres equals how many millimetres? Pause the video again and try those ones, and then we'll come up with answers for you. This one is 2,400 millimetres. This one is 1,800 millimetres. And this one is 3,200 millimetres. Okay, so hopefully the next time you come across this in your mental maths, you're going to be more sure of what you're doing. This is to change metres into millimetres. You have to multiply by 1,000. Good job.